はい。皆さん、こんにちは、こんばんは。今日は MLB 座賞24、ロサンゼルス、ドジャース、VS、アトランタ、ブレーブス。始めていきましょう。
Hello, baseball fans, and welcome. MLB The Show with a good one coming at you. The Atlanta Braves taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers. John Shambi, Chris Singleton with you. And Chris, we've got an opportunity to watch one of the true superstars in the sport, Luis Domingo. Always exciting to see him in action, and it seems like he consistently finds a way to impact the game.
Yeah, Boog, it's offensively at the plate, defensively when he's on the bases. And this guy's just a heads-up player, but he's got so much talent, and he makes the most of that. I believe it starts with his preparation because you never see him give away an at-bat.
Almost ready to get underway. Today's starting pitcher, Maddox Bruns. And Singy, he likes pitching at home.
Well, truly for him, there is no place like home. He's been so dominant here. And as a teammate, you expect him when pitching at home this year to go out and dominate just as he has. The fans expect it, and I think everyone around here knows that he's a good pitcher. Even though we don't see the same splits on the road, we're going to start to see that translate as well.
That clips the corner.
I mean, that's perfect location, right on the black. I mean, over and over again, this guy demonstrates the ability to hit those spots. They're so tough to do anything with as a hitter.
And a pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him to go up the ladder for the K.
Typically, that high fastball, if it's close to the top of the strike zone, a hitter, if he's prepared for it, can get to it. But that one just had that little jump at the end, which indicates there's a good spin rate on it, and it didn't decrease in velocity as that hitter's internal clock would expect it to, and that's why you see the swing and miss.
Michael Harris stands in now and watches strike one. Bruns in his second season, 22 years old, a former first-round pick in 2021. That one close, ruled a ball, and that's ball one. Hit in the air, left field, on his way over, makes the grab on the run, and there are two outs. Here's the Atlanta Braves lineup. They're dealing with a top-level arm on the mound, so this figures to be a tough matchup for them. What's the key to the offense today, Singy?
Well, Boog, I think when you got a guy that's this talented on the mound, you got to find ways to disrupt his rhythm, make him uncomfortable a little bit. The guys that can handle the bat and perhaps, bunt for a base hit, get him moving off the mound. If you're in the box and he seems to be just in a flow, step out, mess up his timing, somehow try to get in his head a little bit. And then when he does come in the zone, you may only get one pitch. You better not miss it.
Soto sizes this one up, and that's the third out. And the Dodgers are coming up to hit. No score. You're watching Major League Baseball exclusively on the show. Back here at Chavez Ravine. And towing the slab, Spencer Strider.
Well, it hasn't been a great year so far in terms of ERA, but he's had some decent games, and there have been some flashes of greatness, if you will. We'll see today if he's able to get ahead of hitters and perhaps get some swings and misses, put himself in a position to bring that ERA down, because in the back of his mind, beyond the W, he wants to have a better earned run average.
And now it's going to be Freddie Freeman right through there for a strike. You know, you translate on base percentage, it's basically this. Teams that have a high on base percentage, they don't make outs at a very high rate. As my buddy Joe Sheehan says, OBP is life. Just missed.
Strider's a guy known for his velocity. He can bring it, but that wasn't always the case. Coming back from an injury in college, Strider was throwing 94 to 96 miles per hour, Boog, when the Braves drafted him. Now he lights up the radar gun with triple-digit speeds.
Bounce to the right side. Olsen takes it himself. One up, one down. Time to check out the Dodgers lineup. Chris, this is a lineup offensively that could be really good for years to come.
Well, in this day and age, if you can't slug and get on base, that OPS has to be at a certain level. If you're going to produce runs, give your pitchers an opportunity as they're facing tough offenses as well.
So up next, Danny Ramirez.
It's been a tough stretch for him at the plate. Only 2 hits over the last 5 games.
Swing and a miss. Chased it out of the zone. Next one misses, and it's a ball and a strike.
1-1.
And a foul ball. And another ball. 1 out, base is empty. Back foot slider struck him out.
Just indecisive in that at bat. He couldn't commit to the slider. Tried to sit in between. Just not able to put the bat on the ball.
Shohei Ohtani stands in with 2 away as he takes a ball. Two outs. And a foul ball. 1-1 now. And that's down and away.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Wouldn't chase that time. Juan Soto up next for the Dodgers. 2 down, nobody on. That catches the top part of the zone. And now it's 3-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. Nothing doing for the Dodgers here. Scoreless after 1. Back here at Dodger Stadium. New inning getting started. And now it's Matt Olson's turn to hit. Singy, you can't ask for anything more. This guy checks all the boxes offensively.
He's the ultimate professional, and it doesn't just start at game time. It starts in the afternoon, the way he prepares and gets ready for the ball game. I tell you what, his teammates feed off of the leadership that he shows on and off the field.
Swing and a miss. And the count 1-1.
Bringing the cheese on that one.
And there's a strike. Good heater at 98. Not close with that one. Ball 2. Swings and misses. Struck him out.
Wow, just great bite to that slider. Broke hard out of the zone, and he just couldn't hold up the swing. You know, as a hitter, that pitch is really hard to take. There's just not much you can do with it. You know that, but you don't want to get rung up by the umpire.
Swing and a miss.
He got away with one there, but he knows he can't go into that spot very often against a guy like this.
Swings through it, and that's a strikeout. Off to a strong start, Singy, as he's punched out 3 of the first 5 he's faced.
Well, he's definitely minimizing contact. He can get the swing and miss when he needs it, but he'll also keep the defense fresh behind him, allowing some balls in play as well. Well, clearly he was ready to hit right there. Not much to this one other than just a willingness to go the other way and put the ball in play. That's a team at bat right there. Nice job of staying back and letting the ball get deep.
So 2 down. Orlando Arcia next up for the Braves. Swing and a miss as he was late.
No ball. One strike.
Two gone, but the go-ahead run is at first. Here at the top of the second. Just missed.
1-1.
The lefty ready, and a 1-1. And that one wrapped foul. Two outs. Got him looking. That's a strikeout. Braves strand one. We'll go to the bottom of the second. No score. Back here in L.A., bottom half of inning number 2. Now, Juan Soto. The wind of the pitch. That misses, and that's ball one. Strider, a former All-Star. He features a four-seam fastball, a slider, a changeup, a curve, and he works in a two-seamer. That misses, and the count is 2-0. Making the calls behind the plate in this one is Woody Keller.
Yeah, and Woody does a pretty good job back there, Boog. He's got a pretty fair strike zone most of the time. Maybe some inconsistency here or there, but usually he's back there doing a solid job.
2-1.
Nasty 2-0 slider there for a strike. That tells you he's got a lot of confidence in that pitch.
Comes up empty. That's strike two. How much were you aware of the umpire scouting report, or even who was going to be umpiring?
Not a whole lot. I mean, there were a couple of umpires that weren't real good, but outside of that, you just kind of went into the game, especially back when I was playing.
And a swing and a miss. Looks like he's picked up right where he left off.
Been a pretty rough start to this series for him at the plate. 3 strikeouts in the first game yesterday, another one right there. They've clearly got a great plan for how to deal with this guy right now.
Now it's Mookie Betts.
Not getting the results he's wanted at the plate recently. Just 1 hit in his last 5 games.
And he swings through that one.
0-2.
Struck him out looking.
Well, he's really dialed in, and this offense is going to have to do something to try to break that rhythm. Maybe it's square around the bunt, step out of the box, agitate him a little bit, do something that just changes what's happening right now, because at this pace, it's going to be a long game, so you got to figure it out quickly.
Number 6 stands in here, leaves that one off the inside. Swing, and that ball smashed on a line. Harris grabs it on the run. Dodgers down in order. We'll move to the third with no score. And welcome back to the ballpark. On to the third inning. And now the catcher comes up to hit. Sean Murphy. Here comes the pitch. Right through there for a strike. And that one fouled off. And a curve is down and in.
0-2 count. You got the opportunity to expand the zone. Could get the chase there. Let's see what he comes back with next.
Ripped on a line to center. He's got him. And there's one down.
Batting ninth, the left fielder, number 24,
Here's Jared Kelenic. Pitch misses there. Ball one.
1 ball, no strike.
And another ball
Well, he's so great about hitting the ball the other way. He gets those arms extended. So right there, just trying to straighten him up a little bit so he doesn't have as much outside plate coverage.
Kicks and fires. And there's the automatic.
That was absolute gas. Triple digits on the gun. It's just a different experience as a hitter watching that go by.
And there's ball 4.
Maybe a little loss of focus on the mound right there. Pretty much gifted him first base with a quick free pass.
Whit Merrifield up to the plate. He's 0 for 1. There's the strike.
Good approach right there. You want to get something just a little higher that you can elevate. Stay out of that double play.
Next pitch is outside. Kicks and deals.
2-1.
Well, with the amount of pitches that can end up in the dirt, a good secondary lead doesn't have to get away from the catcher, but if you're anticipating based off the trajectory, get yourself into scoring position.
2-2.
Kelnick leads off first with 1 away. Off the mark there, and that's ball 3.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
And that's ball 4.
Now batting, the center fielder.
First and second, 1 out. Now the number 2 hitter, Michael Harris. Singing, he's a guy that covers both sides of the plate about as well as anyone in the sport. How difficult is that to do?
Well, just look at the back of my bubblegum card. You'll see how hard it is. These guys are great, man. They have the ability to look out there, but also to be able to turn on the inside pitch. Those that can really sharpen things on the outer half, those are the ones that become elite.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, all eyes on the double play ball in this spot. No better way to get out of this inning.
2 on, 1 out. Line drive, caught.
It's never fun going back to the dugout after hitting a line drive that finds a glove, but you will get some high fives. You know, when you make great contact, you feel like you've done everything right. But in this game of baseball, not everything is in your control.
Acuna up to bat next, lays off for a ball. Swing and a ball driven pretty well out towards left center. He's got it, and that's the 3rd out. 2 left for Atlanta, and we are still scoreless. As we go to the last of the 3rd, and at the plate for the Dodgers, Luis Domingo. The pitch. That one in the dirt. Ball 1.
Strider out there on the mound for this one, and he's a guy who had a really impressive college career, but needed Tommy John surgery while playing for Clemson.
The pitch. Good eye right there.
You know, Boog, Strider spent time with a sports psychologist at Clemson while rehabbing from his surgery. They talked a lot about the concept of purpose and the importance of having a defined goal for everything you do. You know, it's something Strider now preaches himself.
That one is absolutely belted. And it's a one-hopper off the wall. Should be extra bases. Safe at second with a leadoff double.
Everything came together for him. Loud contact leads to the double. I mean, you could tell it had extra bases written all over it as it jumped off of his stick. Runner in scoring position now, and a good opportunity to push across the first run of the ballgame.
And up to the plate is Will Smith. Drove in their only run in last night's game. First pitch doesn't find the zone. Still tied at 0, last of the third. Next offering is in for a strike.
1-1.
And another ball.
Not really attacking on the mound in this at bat. All breaking balls, so that makes me think they're not really wanting to challenge him here.
Swing and a miss.
2-2.
Just missed.
Curveball kind of backed up on him there. I think it just slid out of the hand a little bit too soon.
The Dodgers with a chance to score first here in the last half of the third. Good plate appearance there. Able to take the walk.
Batting ninth, the third baseman,
Max Muncy at the dish.
Muncy.
Definitely scuffling at the dish lately. Under the Mendoza line so far this month.
And that's in for a strike. That clips the zone. 0-2.
Well, he had a pretty good look at that pitch and not sure exactly what tied him up there. Couldn't pull the trigger. And perhaps the best pitch he'll see in this at bat to hit.
Righty delivers. Keeps the at bat going with a foul ball. Wouldn't chase that time.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Look out! And it hit him. He had 2 strikes on him, and he hit him. Here comes Freddie Freeman up to hit.
Well, he's kind of backed himself into a corner, and I'm sure starting to feel the pressure right now. We'll see if he can bear down and get out of this one.
First pitch just misses.
Well, this is a tough situation with the bases loaded, but the healthiest mindset is just try to get outs, one hitter at a time.
Left-hand hitter waits. Swing and a miss. And now it's even 1-1. In the air to left center. Kelnick sizing this one up. Squeezes it. Here comes the runner from third. Nothing.
Well, that's a quality at bat right there. You know the situation. You need something in the air and deep enough, and that's exactly what he did. Good pass to the baseball.
2 on, 1 out. Danny Ramirez steps to the plate for the Dodgers. Struck out swinging his first time. Here's the pitch. Both runners on the move. Line drive and a base hit right there. The throw in, but it's offline. And they lead by 2.
Puts a run on the board and picks up an RBI. Showed a willingness to drive that pitch the opposite way. Didn't get jumpy, didn't try to pull the ball. He let it get deep, took the barrel right to it, and then extended through the swing for the line drive base hit.
Here's Shohei Ohtani.
He's been really clutch with runners in scoring position this season, so they'll have to be extra careful in this matchup.
1 ball, no strikes.
Traffic on the bases with 2 already in to score here in the second game of the series. And that one is inside.
Good spot for the hitter. Definitely has the advantage in this count with runners on. Look for him to be aggressive on this next pitch.
And a good eye there.
Good pitchers make pitches in big situations, and right here with a middle of the order hitter up, runner in scoring position, he's got to find a way to throw a quality strike.
And the righty deals. Swings and misses. 3-2 now.
Well, the hitter shows the pitcher that he's willing to go after that pitch down in the zone. So perhaps he'll come back to it, still try to get that ground ball double play.
Swing and a miss, struck him out.
Well, Boog, I'll tell you, when he goes to look at the video of that pitch, he's going to want to punch himself. That slider had hit me written all over it, and clearly he just got a little too excited and was out in front. Tell you what, when you get a pitch like that, you cannot miss it. Those have a chance to go a long way.
On the ground. Dives, and he can't hang on. No throw, and everyone's safe. The bases are loaded.
He was all over that one. Now the base is loaded. Big opportunity for them to break this game open.
2 outs, bases loaded. Here's Mookie Betts now. This guy makes great contact. One of the best in the game at putting bat on ball.
He's got such quick hands, and he's gaining pitch recognition. That keeps him square to the plate. There's a good chance that his bat stays in the zone a long time, and that produces solid contact consistently.
Laboring here, about to throw his 30th pitch of the inning. Now 1-1. Right through there for a strike. All loaded up, dangerous hitter at the plate.
They tried to get him to go, chase the pitch down and away, but he wouldn't bite.
And a swing and a miss. That ends the inning, and they limit the damage. But 2 runs for them, and they jump ahead. 3 innings complete. It's the Dodgers 2 and the Braves nothing. And we're back. On to the 4th. Now the Atlanta cleanup hitter, Matt Olson. Runs back to work.
Well, after scoring runs, this is where you're looking for that shutdown inning. Get that hot team back in there to swing the bats. You know, these Braves, as this game goes on, have to be more disciplined at the plate. So many of their outs have come from weak contact on pitches they're chasing outside of the strike zone. You can't do much of anything with those locations, and that's been true again today. And as a pitcher, when the hitters are swinging at everything, you feel no need to challenge inside the zone. You just keep working the corners and expanding that strike zone and beyond, and they just keep eating right out of your hand.
That one hammered center field. That's back. Pulls it in on the warning track.
The batter number 1, second baseman,
Ozzie Albies up to the plate.
Struck out on just 3 pitches last time.
Just missed. Albies in his 8th season, 28 years old. And he's a former Silver Slugger recipient in the National League.
Well, usually a high level of confidence when you're facing a young pitcher out there on the mound. In this situation, ahead 2-0, he's put himself in a really good spot.
Swings through that one for strike 1.
He can live up in the zone all game if hitters will chase it. That's just too much velocity. Hitters got to look down in the zone.
Down the line. And that lands in no man's land, a foul ball. Spoils that one, and it remains 2-2. And another ball. Base is empty, 1 away. Top half of inning number 4. Hard hit. Knocks it down. And he beats it. That's a hit. Great try there. Into second with a double. And they've got something brewing now.
Well, that was a throw that just shouldn't have been made. They scored a single and an error, so the official scorer doesn't believe a good throw would have gotten an out, and neither do I. We can't hear it from up here, but I wonder if anyone was telling him just to eat the throw. You know, that's where communication on the infield can sometimes help out a ton.
Riley batting for the 2nd time, and that's strike 1.
He's pitching well, but not throwing a ton of first pitch strikes. Usually doesn't work out for success, but you can never predict baseball.
And now the lefty. That one's in there. That's strike 2.
Hitter's got some good opposite field power. What I like about something being hit to the right side into the outfield is that the base runner at second has a very good read and can determine whether or not he can score on that base hit.
Pulls it in for the out.
The batter number 5, shortstop, Orlando Arcia.
Here's Orlando Arcia. Struck out looking his first time. And he swings over the top there. Albies at second with 2 down. And a foul ball. Look out. And it hit him.
Well, in the box, he's seen that movie before. It wasn't a good movie either. He knew how it was going to end right from the beginning.
Murphy.
Here's Sean Murphy. He's 0 for 1. That one inside, and it's 1-0.
Boog, he never moved because he never had time to. With that kind of velocity, you'd prefer that pitcher work away.
That misses the zone, and it's 2-0.
He's been raking in recent games, and a big reason why, getting ahead in counts. He's been able to do that consistently, and you see the results.
The pitch, and a foul ball makes the count 2-1. 2 on, 2 outs.
Ball outside.
Tried to backdoor him with that slider right there, but just missed off the plate. Good pitch, though.
Jared Kellner on deck for Atlanta. In the air, left field, down the line. Reaching for it, makes the catch. Back here at Chavez Ravine, John Sciambi and Chris Singleton with you. And leading off the bottom of the fourth, number 6. And the right-hander back to work. That one finds the zone, and that's strike 1.
You know, these Dodgers doing a great job, Boog, of just waiting for the right pitch to come their way, and I'm seeing very patient at-bats out of them. They're doing a good job of working the pitch count, and they've been able to push a couple of runs across to score as well.
Fights that one away, and the count remains 0-2.
Still relatively early, but with the pair of runs already on the board, the ripple effect of that high pitch count might set them up to do more damage later in this game.
And the batter now, Luis Domingo. A double and a run scored his first time up. Off the mark there. And that's ball 1. That one pushed foul out of play off to the left. Hammered down the right side, but foul. One down, base is empty. Goes down looking. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the frame, and that's now 3 in a row.
Yeah, he's really settling in and getting a feel for his pitches, throwing them where he wants to right now. So we'll see how long he can keep this streak going.
Smith now in the box, comes up empty with a swing there.
Well, he threw that fastball right by him, gives him a little bit of confidence, but in the back of your mind, you got to think, is he trying to set me up for later in this at-bat?
2 down, nobody on. We're here in the bottom of the fourth. That one lifted to left. Kellner on the move. Stretches out and hauls it in. Back here in L.A., all set for the start of the inning. So now to the plate for Atlanta, Jared Kellner. Runs back to work. Swing and a tapper that rolls foul.
You know, these Braves showing great discipline at the plate, and patience definitely seems to be the name of their game in this one. Starter's leash has to be getting tighter with his pitch count where it is, but so far he's been really effective in this one.
Now fly ball to right center. Domingo sizes this one up, puts it away for the out, and there's one down.
You know, sometimes it just takes getting to the bullpen in order to be able to score runs, and that might be the case today.
So the lineup flips over. Whit Merrifield, the next to hit. That's in there. 0-1. There's a strike.
All right, now, he may have not liked either of those first two pitches or agreed with the umpire's calls, but at this point, he's going to have to bear down and be ready to hit anything close to the zone.
One down, base is empty. Swings through that one. It's a strikeout. Michael Harris now at the plate. We talk about guys with good speed, and definitely he has it. But pushing the offense aside for just a second, Chris, it's the defensive side that I think the speed factors in the most. Brings it in for the third out. And welcome back to the ballpark. Bottom of the inning. Here's Max Muncy. That funky Muncy. The wind of the pitch. That one finds the zone. Strike one.
No balls. One strike.
And a big swing and a miss.
Well, that's today's style of baseball right there, right? Big time velo on the bump and big time pop at the plate.
And he chases that one. And there's one away.
Man, it's so difficult as a hitter to get on plane with that pitch. It's breaking down and in, and you've got to find a way to match the plane. And if it's nasty like that one, bite at the end, most times you're swinging over the top and walking back to the dugout.
Freeman, the next to hit, takes ball one. A swing and a miss, and that's strike one.
1-1.
Here's a 1-1. Freeman hits it in the air. On his way over. Makes the catch for the out. 2 down.
Now batting, the second baseman, Danny Ramirez.
And next for L.A., Danny Ramirez. 1 for 2. Swing and a miss as he was out front.
He's pitching well, but not throwing a ton of first pitch strikes. Usually doesn't work out for success, but you can never predict baseball.
No balls. 2 strikes.
And here it comes. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out. And a nice inning of work there as he sets him down 1-2-3. Dodgers go down quietly. They're up 2-0. Back here at Dodger Stadium, top of the 6th inning. Here's Ronald Acuna Jr. at the plate. The wind of the pitch. Now a check swing, but he held up.
No, here's a player who hits the ball a mile when he connects. In fact, Acuna is the first player in the StatCast era to hit 10 straight home runs, all traveling more than 420 feet. He's not exactly just clearing the fences out there.
And it really looks like these hitters have been in between with their timing today. Good fastball, excellent slider, but they've not been able to commit to one velocity and stay there.
In the air, center field. Betts settles underneath it. He makes the grab. 1 up, 1 down.
Now batting, the first baseman,
Matt Olson up to the plate.
Olson.
That one finds the zone. Strike one.
Some hitters are just more confident they can track that first pitch out of the hand of the pitcher. They don't care if they fall behind 0-1.
Right through there for a strike. And there's a base hit. So they get a man aboard with a 1-out single.
Seems like he got exactly what he was looking for right there.
Runner on at first with 1 gone. Ozzie Albies will hit next. Outfield playing very deep, not wanting anything over their heads.
Yeah.
And that's in for a strike.
Now this team is definitely looking for a big swing of the bat right here. Try to close that gap. But, you know, at the very least, if you could find a way to manufacture that run from first, it feels like it's really important to getting back into this ball game.
Bounce to third. Knocks it down to first, and he beats it. Everyone's safe.
Now batting, third baseman.
So
Austin
one out with two aboard.
Riley.
Here's a big power threat. Austin Riley. Ball one there. Close, but called a ball. And that's ball two. With the go-ahead run at the plate, and we're in the top half of the sixth. And a pitch. Lifted in the air, out to left. Drops into the glove.
Just pulled off of it a little bit right there. That front shoulder coming open instead of staying closed. If he does that, he's going to be able to go up the middle the other way with some authority instead of a fly out to left.
And now here is Orlando Arcia. Sharp grounder. That's through for a base hit. Throw in holds the lead runner at third, so it'll be bases loaded and two gone.
Oh, just a nice job coming through in a pretty high leverage spot right there.
Two outs, bases full. Sean Murphy next up for the Braves.
I'm curious how he decides to attack on the mound. This guy at the plate has been great hitting under pressure this year.
One ball, no strikes.
That's in there. And the count 1-1. And there's a ball.
Look, in situations like these, the air can get really thin up there at the plate. Got to find a way to breathe and slow everything down.
Two outs. Swing and a miss, and that's strike two.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
At the belt and fires.
Full count.
Got him looking. Huge strikeout there. And the Braves will strand 3. They trail things here 2-0. Bottom of the 6th. Shohei Ohtani up to the dish.
The designated hitter, Shohei.
The line to kick the pitch. That one off the mark. And that's ball 1. Not in time. An infield knock to start the inning.
Now, Boog, I don't have the numbers to back this up or anything, but I think pitchers who tend to rack up a bunch of strikeouts sometimes end up with more errors behind them in the field just because the defenders aren't as involved in the game. They're not as sharp, and who knows if that played any factor there, but I think there could be something to it.
Soto in now, takes ball 1 off the plate.
I love this part of the game. Does he really want to try and steal second against this catcher? I know he's fast, but it's pretty risky.
Shohei on the go. Pitch misses and safe. It's a stolen base. Siggy, he definitely showed off the wheels there.
Yeah, and it turned out to be a bang-bang play. StatCast gives us the data, and that stolen base wasn't possible without that sprint speed.
And a pitch. Outside. Swings through that one out in front that time.
Man, he really sells the changeup with that arm action.
And he walked him.
It feels to me like his time on the mound is running short, starting to show some signs of fatigue. So we'll see how much longer they let him go.
Here's Mookie now.
And Boog, I'd say he's due.
And that's in the dirt. Bullpen action out there for the Braves. A.J. Minter getting ready to come in for manager Brian Snitker. Matzik also getting ready. On the ground, a second, might be two. Off balance feed, there's one. Over to first, safe.
Well, he's doing a nice job of keeping the ball out of the air. Lets the defense work behind him with another ground ball. Good execution.
Now the left fielder. This is a true five-tool guy. Not very many of them out there, but when he's on the field, you can't take your eye off of him. There's a strike.
Fans come to the ballpark to watch him play. And in baseball, to have such a talented player going out there every day and putting on the show that he does, just a joy to watch.
1 ball, 1 strike.
2 on, 1 out. Hits for average power, the ability to field the arm, and then the speed. Really impressive. And he deals.
2-2.
Righty to the plate. In the air, fairly deep to right field. And he makes the catch. Runner tags from third. The throw's offline. He's saved. And they lead by 3.
So many times that one gets out of here and into the seats, but he'll take the sac fly RBI. Good job to get that run in from third.
Stepping in, the long ball threat, Luis
Domingo.
First offering, and it just misses. And there's a strike.
He doubled up on the off speed there. We talk about the power fastball, but he's working a little differently here.
The pitch. Foul ball there. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Pulled the string on the changeup. No hits, but an error and a walk lead to a run. We're through 6 full. It's the Dodgers 3 and the Braves nothing. Top of inning number 7, now in for the Braves.
Taken high in the draft, he's had that top prospect labeled over him since he put on a professional uniform. But at some point, that starts to go away, and you've got to produce at the big league level.
No ball, 1 strike.
Boog, it looked like that curveball backed up on him, and although it's a mistake, it works out really good for the pitcher. The hitter's timed it up, expects it to be to a certain spot, and it just doesn't get there.
Close one, doesn't get the call. And the count is 1-2. Double-barreled action in the bullpen. Jonathan Loaisiga preparing to come on if needed. Garcia, the lefty, warming up as well. Got him swinging.
Well, he didn't get the call on the mound the pitch before. Felt like he should have had him looking, I think. But, you know, that's good composure right there. He found a way to come back with another good pitch to get him to swing and miss.
Back to the leadoff spot in the Braves lineup. And now the DH, Whit Merrifield. Just missed.
Changing speeds has this lineup completely off balance in this one. We've seen a lot of mistimed swings, and it's been a challenge for these hitters to get their rhythm right.
Next offering is in for a strike. to third. And it finds its way through for a hit. So a man aboard now with one away.
Man, he just absolutely turned on that one, ripped it down the line. Nice job of staying in his mechanics.
Man at first with one gone. Michael Harris getting ready to hit. That's in there. Strike one.
Now, these guys definitely looking for a big swing of the bat right here. Try to close that gap. But, you know, at the very least, if you could find a way to manufacture that run from first, it feels like it's really important to getting back into this ball game.
High fly ball out to left field. And there's two down. Throw, and it gets away. And here is Ronald Acuna Jr. Outfield deep here, trying to prevent anything over their heads. And the first pitch misses for ball one.
This pitcher's done a good job of disrupting the hitter's timing with the mix of pitches and changing speeds. You want to keep that front foot inconsistent for the batter. Their swings are hesitant, and that's exactly what you want on the mound.
And a base hit right there. Throw into third. And the throw's offline, safe at third. And now Matt Olson up to hit. 1 for 3. That's a slider for a strike.
This might be a steal situation, but that's not your average catcher behind the dish. You have to be careful here.
With the tying run at the plate, here in the top half of inning number 7. And he hits a ground ball right side. Throw on to Freeman. Third out, and that ends the frame. 2 left for Atlanta. Still down 3-0. We're back in a new pitcher here to start the bottom of the 7th. A.J. Minter.
And he's been racking up strikeouts at a high rate this year. Typically at least 1 an inning, so he'll be tough to get to.
The batter now will be Will Smith.
If you don't get ahead in the count, you can forget about having any success against him.
Minter measures 6 feet even, 31 years old, and he was a second-round pick back in 2015.
1 ball, no strikes.
And the 1-0. Swings through that one for strike 2.
1-2.
On the ground to the left, and it goes just foul. And a 1-2.
Ball 2.
And a foul ball, he stays alive. And down on strikes he goes, and that's the first out. And now it's Max Muncy. He is very much your typical power hitter. I'd say he falls into the 3 true outcomes category.
Well, we've seen more and more of that lately. The ability to drive the ball to slug is getting heavily favored over any discipline or strikeout concerns.
Base is empty, 1 away. Here at the bottom of the 7th.
No need to offer at that pitch until you get to 2 strikes. It's just a low percentage of success when you want to try to go after that down and away pitch.
1-1.
The 1-1. Good eye in that spot. Top of the zone, and it's called a strike. Cuts and misses. It's a strikeout.
Chance to strike out the side now. You talk about the benefits, the advantages of relievers who can come in and get the swing and miss, whether it's inherited runners or maybe a little jam that they get into themselves. Knowing that they can miss the bat, tell you what, that's huge and can change the ball game.
Freeman stands in now, looks at that one inside. 2 down, nobody on. Here in the second game of the series. A bit behind with that swing. It's strike 1.
1 ball, 1 strike.
The 1-1 is fouled off. That one misses. The count now 2-2. In the air, right field. Acuna on the run. Diving, it gets down. Could be extra bases. And that rolls into the corner. And he's into third with a 2-out triple.
Well, those kind of lucky soft hits will always make you smile. You'll take those boop hits off the end of the bat all day long. It doesn't mean you put a great swing on it, but hitters deserve to get a lucky hit every now and then.
Danny Ramirez.
3-pitch strikeout last time up. Got to put up more of a fight in this one.
In there, and it's 0-1. Kicks and fires. Late on that fastball.
He finds himself in a tough situation early. Just got to try to simplify it. Take a knock the other way if you can.
Gets a piece, and it stays 0-2. And a swing and a miss, and that's that.
Well, needed a big strikeout to get out of danger. Turned to the deception of that changeup. Great execution. Really sold it with the arm speed. Had his opponent way out on that front foot.
Ready to begin the 8th. So now to the plate for Atlanta.
Ozzie Albies.
Bruns back to work. Wouldn't chase that time.
If you're on the mound right now, you know you have to retire this hitter. If he gets on base, it could open up the floodgates for this offense to score some runs.
Line drive, base hit. So a runner aboard to start the inning.
Well, he's been working out of the stretch just about the entire game, Boog. A lot of base runners on against him, and he's just done a really nice job of scattering the hits, not giving up any runs. But at some point, your luck usually runs out.
Here's Austin Riley. That's in there. It's 0-1.
Well, the leadoff man gets on. You want to minimize the threat by playing sound defense. Hopefully the pitcher can get a ball on the ground and they can roll him up for 2.
0-1. Swings and misses at the pitch off the plate.
You tie a guy up like that, you're feeling like you are in command.
Albies on at first, nobody out. That one drilled left field, way back there. Makes the catch up against the wall.
Now batting, shortstop, Orlando Arcia.
Yeah, it's a really nice catch right there near the wall, and you have to use everything available to you. Know when your feet leave the grass and hit the warning track. Also, when you're able to, use the bare hand to feel for exactly how close you are. And right there, perfect use of his instruments.
And the batter will be the shortstop, Orlando Arcia. And a breaking ball drops in for a strike. And a pitch. The shortstop takes the ball. Man at first, one away. That one misses. And a count 2-1. In there for a strike at the top of the zone.
Man, 91 on the slider right there. That's a hard one. That's a low-end fastball for some pitchers.
And a pitch. Oh, that plumped him. And that's now twice he's been hitting this one.
Well, that pitch right there didn't even sniff the zone. He was all out of whack on that delivery.
It appears Dave Roberts is going to dig into his bullpen as he comes out of the dugout to make the change. Maddox Bruns done for the night. It's a 3-run game, and we'll be back to tell you about the new arm in a minute. New arm out of the bullpen, Jonathan Loaisiga.
Definitely a guy that pounds the strike zone, makes hitters earn their way on base, and rarely gets in trouble because of free passes.
So first and second with one man gone. So here's Murphy now. That one at triple digits.
Not sure exactly what he was thinking there. Good sinker ball pitcher goes with the fastball in a double play situation when he needs something on the ground.
And ball one. The Braves trailing by 3, and we're at the top of the 8th. On the ground, right side. Nice stop. Slings to second, to first, not in time. Great effort there.
Well, that's great hustle out of the box to get down the line, knowing that a double play will end the inning. Good job at the finish, reaching out for the bag. Now they got runners on the corners and still an opportunity to pick up some runs.
And next for Atlanta, Jared Kelenic. Corner infielders guarding the lines, trying to prevent extra bases. And that one hit 97 on the gun.
Got to keep things airtight defensively right here. On your toes, ready to make a play. If you can get this to the 9th with a 3-run lead, it should be a W.
Next pitch in for a strike. And 1-1. Movement in the bullpen. J.P. Fireeisen looks to be getting ready for manager Dave Roberts. Next offering is in for a strike.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Fights it off. You'll see another. This one lifted in the air, left field. Nice grab on the run. And that's the 3rd out. 2 left for Atlanta. They trail it here 3-0. Back now, new pitcher on the mound as we roll into the bottom of the 8th.
Pretty tight game, so they're looking for quality pitches out of him right here. Got to do his best to keep the score right where it is.
3, 4, 5 due up for the home team. Now it's the DH, Shohei Ohtani. The pitch. There's a swing and a drive. Acuna going back and gone. His 13th home run of the season, and they tack on to their lead. It's 4-0. He absolutely feasts on right-handed pitching and devours that one for a homer.
And you can see that's what he expects of himself. At bat after at bat, he's that confident.
Welcome to the game. First pitch out of the bullpen, a tough one. And you know he's just trying to get one in there for a strike. And on the other side, as a hitter, it's a great time to be aggressive and let it fly. It's not what they were looking for when they turned to him, but now he's got to find a way to reset.
Here's Juan Soto. That one fouled off. Nobody on, nobody out with a run in here, the bottom half of the 8th inning. That's to third. Riley zips it across. One gone to the bottom of the 8th.
Now batting, the shortstop, Mookie Betts.
And now it's Mookie Betts. 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a ground out. And a pop-up, right side, foul territory. Drifts towards it, tries to make the play, but it's foul. 1 run across in the frame so far here in the 2nd game of the series. Outside low, and it's 1-1. Bounce to the right. Olsen handles the chance, and he takes it himself for the out.
Now batting, number 6.
2 outs, base is empty. Here's the left fielder. Singy, you got to appreciate a guy who's this good defensively. I mean, watching him track balls in the outfield, it is beautiful. And immediately pumps in a strike to the left-handed hitter.
And I would say that most great defensive outfielders, it's kind of natural. There is some work that you can do to it to improve your game, but ultimately you either have it or you don't.
2 down, nobody on, and that's in the dirt. 1-2 to count.
There's one guy that I can think about, Boog, who started as a third baseman, Alex Gordon, and then became an elite.
Threw it by him. A swing and a miss at the fastball to end the inning. Dodgers add 1 to their lead on the solo homer. Last chance coming up here for the Braves. And we're back. We go to the 9th. So here's the Braves designated hitter, Whit Merrifield. The pitch. In for a strike. 0-1. Activity in the bullpen for the Dodgers. J.P. Fireisen up and throwing. On the ground to third. Tosses across to first. And a quick out, number 1.
Now batting, the center fielder, Michael Harris.
Michael Harris next up for the Braves. And there's a foul ball. That smash towards center. Snags it on the run. 2 away now.
The right fielder, number 13.
So they're down to their final out. And here is Ronald Acuna Jr. Just missed. base hit center field. So he gets on base and keeps it going.
Couple of hits in a row for him here. That's about as textbook as it gets. Got his stride and load out of the way early. He stayed inside that ball and squared it up out front. Man, that was like he was in the cage hitting off a tee.
Here's Matt Olson. And that one a little below the knees. Ball one. Two outs. On the ground, right side. And it gets by him. And that keeps the inning alive. Throw in holds the lead runner at second. 2 on now with 2 away.
The second baseman.
Here is Ozzie Albies up to hit. And first offering is fouled off. Two on, 2 outs. And that's outside. And the count even 1-1. Swing and a miss. 99. How do you do?
Man, I'm pretty impressed out there on the mound right now. I mean, these are tough spots where pitchers really got to bear down. Those last 2 pitches were well executed.
This could end it.
Flew open a little bit with that front shoulder, but was able to slow his bat down just enough to make contact with that pitch. Keep the at-bat alive.
Got him. And that'll do it.
Well, a real nice performance out of the pen. This guy is not the one who usually gets the final out, but extended his role a little bit and helped his team get the win. He got the save. Nice job.
A 4-0 shutout in this one. Dave Roberts and company celebrate in the dugout. For Chris Singleton and our entire crew here at MLB The Show, thanks for stopping by. I'm John Shambi. Talk to you soon.
Now is our final line score tonight. First for the victorious Dodgers, 4 runs on 5 hits. With 1 error, they left 5 runners on base. For Atlanta, no runs, 10 hits. 1 error, they left 14 runners on base. Time of the ball game.
ご視聴ありがとうございます。高評価、チャンネル登録お願いします。